Chapter 4. Aoi and Kanao. I'm bad at getting along with Kanao. It's not that I dislike her, I'm just not good at getting along with her. She did not offend me in any way, nor did she have any kind of conflict with me. To put it simply, Tsuyuri Kanao was a girl who was like a puppet. Even if you were the one who initiated the conversation, she would not reply. She always had a hollow smile and could not make any decision on her own. Her decisions were made only by flipping a coin. Seeing how Kanao was, I was only getting anxious on my own, as I had an impatient personality. Sometimes I even got fed up with it. Even though I'm older, Kanao's ranking was far above mine. She was talented when it came to slaying demons, so she was chosen to be a Tsukugo, someone who will inherit the skills of a pillar at a young age. On the other hand, I'm just human trash, who was fortunate enough to survive the final selection. Then I could not gain any actual battle experience afterwards because I was too afraid. I was able to stay in the butterfly estate thanks to Shinobu's benevolence and help to take care of injured squad members and carry out physical rehabilitation for those who are recovering. Was there any value to a squad member who can't kill demons? Of course there wasn't. I'm just a burden to the demon slayers. Perhaps it was for that reason I was especially panicked when I faced Kanao. When I found out that it was my feeling of inferiority, I could not stand how lowly I was. I started to hate myself more and more. Then, someone said to me, "You're already a part of me because you helped me out, Aoi-san. I'll take your emotions into battle with me." That person said trash like me was a part of him, and he would take these feelings I could not vent to the battlefield. While he was saying those words to me, he showed no signs of boasting or hesitating and even showed a sun-like smile at the same time. So I also wanted to work hard and give it my all within my capabilities. However, when I was ordered to follow the sound pillar on a mission, I was trembling uncontrollably. Thinking of the terror I felt when facing a demon, I could not even protect Naho. "Kanao! Kanao!" I repeated her name over and over again like a fool. Kanao actually grabbed my hand. She did not flip her coin and only knitted her brows and gritted her teeth. No matter what Sound Pillar Sama said, she did not release her grip at all. I haven't thanked her for what happened then. Asterisk. Get some supplies outside? That's right. I'll be counting on the two of you. I got called by Shinobu, who was considered my superior, to her room. I thought I was going to get scolded for what happened with the sound pillar, but that was not the case. Speaking of which, Shinobu very rarely asked us to go buy things together. Aoi glanced at Kanao, who was seated next to her. Kanao was looking into space with an expression that was no different from her usual. One could not tell what she was thinking. "The herbs I need you both to buy are written here." With that said, Shinobu smiled at them. Having to be alone with Kanao, who was always silent. If it was last time, even if it was a request from Shinobu whom she respected greatly, she would still feel depressed. But to Aoi now, this was what she was hoping for. With the thought that she could finally express her thanks for that incident, Aoi bowed her head. "I understand. Then we'll be off. Thank you. After Tanjiro and the rest finish their mission this time, they'll probably come back here," Shinobu added on lightly. But Aoi was surprised after she heard those words. Even though there's nothing to worry about since Uzui is with them, we still have to prepare as much as we can and wait for them to return. They did go in her place, because I'm too useless. Aoi bit her lip slightly, hoping that the mission this time would not be too dangerous, but that was just her own arrogant, wishful thinking. If even a pillar had to be deployed, there was no way it was something as simple as facing a few small fry. After infiltrating the Infinity Train to take down the demons there, they came back covered in injuries. Both their bodies and minds were traumatized, and they became so broken that one could not bear to look at them. And this time, it was her fault. "Please be safe." Aoi prayed seriously while holding the feelings of wanting to cry out loud. Everyone has to come back together. Her fingers that were placed on her knee were shaking continuously, and she could not stop them. Aoi felt her own worthlessness and shut her eyes tightly.
The apothecary shop which Shinobu frequented was located on the main street, a distance away from the butterfly estate. Aoi had gone there a few times with Shinobu. "Welcome," the boss greeted them. Aoi remembered that face that was as thin as a shriveled-up eggplant. "I would like you to get these herbs in summary." Kano did not speak, and Aoi made all sorts of requests while holding Shinobu's note. she was not too worried about the boss's eye in identifying the herbs. However, when it came to the time to pay up, the color from Ao's face drained completely. The purse which he kept properly was gone. The purse contained money given to them by Shinobu, but now it was nowhere to be found. After digging frantically through the pockets of her squad uniform for a while, Aoi covered the corner of her mouth. She had taken out her purse from the pocket of her uniform to pay for something before she came out and thus left the purse on her table. When her train of thought came to this point, Aoi was stunned. Usually she would make this kind of mistake. Kano looked over, noticing that something was not right. Kano, sorry, Aoi said softly with a hoarse voice, then she bowed so deeply that her nose seemed like it was going to touch her knees. I forgot to bring my purse. Kano did not reply. Aoi felt so guilty that she just wanted to sink into a hole and disappear. And unfortunately, during the shopping errand, not just Aoi, even Kano did not bring her own purse. Kano stared firmly at the coin she always took out to toss, and it was clear that her expression was wavering. I won't take that away. Aoi laughed weakly after observing the situation, as they had come to this store several times. Aoi tolerated her embarrassment and requested to buy on credit. However, the boss, who was full of doubts, refused to accede to the request no matter what. Even if you say that, but we're still businessmen after all. A pity my elderly boss stepped out. I can't make decisions on my own. The boss dodged the issue and said, speaking of which, what do you all do? What kind of organization is the Demon Slayer Corps? Aoi was unable to answer for a moment when the boss asked her that. As the Demon Slayer Corps was not a government-acknowledged organization, it got especially awkward in this kind of moments. Even if they spoke about demons and whatnot, others would not believe them. With exception of people with the Wisteria emblem, the trust that society had of the Demon Slayer Corps was definitely not high. Even if they fought demons with their lives on the line for the sake of those living, the truth was that squad members could not even carry their Nikiran blades in broad daylight. Seeing that Aoi was at a loss on how to answer, the boss looked suspiciously at Aoi and Kano. What can women do? The person who came before was extremely gorgeous too. Don't tell me you're all doing some shameful kind of work? This person made this kind of wild guess probably because the people who come from the butterfly estate to do errands are all female. However, the boss's perverted gaze infuriated Aoi. I understand, just pretend I never mentioned buying on credit. Goodbye. Saying those words politely, Aoi grabbed Kano and pulled her out of the shop, but she regretted it immediately. I messed up. Aoi grabbed her own head. In the end, even if she went back to the butterfly estate now to get her purse, she would not be able to make it back before the shop closed. If only she was not that reckless. She should have just quietly bowed her head no matter what the other party said. However, how was anyone supposed to endure when even Shinobu was talked about in such a way and the Demon Slayer Corps got insulted? I'm so stupid. She already decided that she was going to keep walking forward lest she should trample on that person's good intentions. Yet she allowed herself to be led around by her emotions, and in the end, her effort went to waste. How embarrassing. They could not be short of all the things she was supposed to buy today, whether it was herbs, medical alcohol, or the muslin used to make bandages. What if they happened to return when supplies were lacking? What if they received injuries that were too serious for Shinobu to treat? What if something terrible happened to them because of me? Just by imagining this, her legs started shivering ridiculously. She realized her own idiot.